So y'all, Bobby Brown, singer from New Edition, legendary Bobby Brown, is finally speaking out after the horrid deaths of certain members of his family. And y'all know he's blaming Nick Gordon for killing Bobbi, Kristina, and Whitney Houston. Okay, let's get into it, y'all. Okay, what's the tea, honeybees? It's your girl, your Judy, your boy, Gabe, aka Cutie, for keeping it G, and you are watching an all-new episode of Gossip with Cutie. Thank y'all so much for coming to my channel and watching my page. Make sure that you like, subscribe, comment, click that notification bell for more videos and more tea with me. Okay, y'all already know what you guys gotta do, honey. Okay, we are back for a new Friday, more tea and more gossip with y'all. But this time, this is going to be a little bit of a serious episode. Y'all know that I am an advocate of mental health. I am an advocate of self-care. I am an advocate of taking your ass to motherfucking therapy if something is wrong. Even if something is not wrong, take your ass to motherfucking therapy. So I am here to talk about a really great episode that I actually saw on the Red Table Talk. If you guys know what the Red Table Talk is, Jada Pinkett Smith and her daughter Willow Smith and her mother Adrian, I think her name is. They actually, all three of these ladies, they have a show called Red Table Talk on Facebook Watch. And Bobby Brown was actually just recently on the episode, and he was speaking on generational trauma. So if you guys aren't aware, I'm sure everybody knows, Bobby Brown is a multi-platinum singer, Grammy award-winning singer. He has been in New Edition. He has sung solo acts as well. He is the husband of the late, or ex-husband, I should say, of the late great Whitney Houston. They shared a beautiful daughter by the name of Bobbi Kristina, who also passed away as well. So all of this is actually something that he's actually going to be discussing on the episode of Red Table Talk. So he's basically saying, also, just recently, we actually just found out that his son, Bobby Brown Jr., actually just passed away as well due to a drug overdose. He actually, unfortunately, died of drug overdose. They found cocaine, fentanyl, and also alcohol in his system. So Bobby Brown has really been through a lot throughout the past few years. I would say maybe like within the past 15 years. I feel like that Whitney passed. When was it? Like maybe, was it 2009? I want to say. I believe it was around that time that Whitney Houston passed away, and it's been all that time, and that he has been going through trauma and deaths. His parents had died as well. So he discusses about generational trauma and how he has gone through and, you know, pretty much break through that generational trauma and is trying to break that curse of drug addiction, alcohol addiction, mental addiction. He's breaking that curse in his family, and he's doing it in the best way. So Bobby Brown he actually went on Red Table Talk, like I said before. And first he discussed the horrible death of his son, Bobby Brown Jr. So if you guys already know, like I said earlier, Bobby Brown Jr. was actually, Bobby has about 7 kids. He was probably the third out of, fourth. He was the fourth out of them. And, because I was going to say, there's like Landon, there's a girl, there's Bobby Brown. No, he's a third because Bobby Brown, Kristina is younger. So yes, he's the third. So he is the third out of the children of Bobby Brown and Bobby Brown's kids. And unfortunately, like I said before, he passed away of a drug overdose. And it's so crazy because Bobby Brown was actually explaining to Jada Pinkett and Willow and her mom that Bobby Brown Jr. was actually with his father the night before he passed away. It's really crazy that they were actually together. They were talking. They were in good spirits. Everything was good. And Bobby Brown actually explained that his son was not an addict. He was the type of person that, you know, usually experimented on drugs. He was never the one that coped on drugs. He didn't take drugs too seriously. He was not that type of person. So to think that with someone like that, that only experienced drugs and was never like an addict or anything, and for that to take you away, that's some serious ass shit. And honestly, unfortunately, they still don't know who the people are that sold the drugs to them, to Bobby Brown Jr. They state that this is now an open case because of the fact that they found fentanyl in the drugs as well that they provided to him. If you guys know, fentanyl is a huge drug. It is something that you guys should not use, okay? Because it is a prescribed drug. And I heard that if you get hooked on it in 15 minutes, literally you're hooked and you get high as fuck and you wild out. Me personally, I'm going to say this. Drugs are some real ass shit. I'm going to be honest with y'all. I cannot be one to say, hey, y'all, don't do drugs, because then that would kind of be hypocritical of me because of the fact that I have indulged in drugs and I am probably not going to stop. But the type of drugs that I indulge, however, is not the so-called hard drugs of the cocaines, the fentanyls, the heroines, all of that type of things. I would say that I am more of a hallucinage, type of person. I experiment on, shrooms, Molly. Of course, y'all know I do high times with cutie. So I can't be one to say, hey, stop doing drugs. What I can say is be careful of if you are to do it, or if you do make a decision to try it, you need to be careful of who you are around and what type of drug you do. I will say that crack is whack. I will say that you shouldn't do cocaine. I will say that you shouldn't do these high score ass drugs. Okay, I'm not gonna say that I am an advocate of these things. However, what I will say is that I am not going to say stop doing it because I do drugs. That would be fake of me. You feel me? But my prayers and hearts goes out to Bobby Brown and his family. My prayer and hearts goes out to. It's really sad that his son had to leave our lives in such a short notice because of the fact of him experiencing and him trying something out and it didn't go well. It really does suck. And like I said before, you really just got to be careful of what you do. You know what I'm saying? I don't really, I can't. It's a lot of these celebrities out here that are using these drugs and they're overdosing and they're overindulging in them because of the fact that I feel like that a lot of them have to keep up with the Joneses. They feel like that they have to keep up with the fame. They have to keep up with everything that's going on. So they overindulge and they overuse these drugs. I am not a fan of overusage, okay? Don't overuse it. If you want to indulge in it, don't overuse it. That's how it is with everything, okay? Don't overuse the shit, okay? Please be careful. So Bobby continued to explain, and he continued to talk about other things that went on in his family and other traumas that happened in his family. He explained that Bobbi Kristina, he actually started to describe the upbringing of Bobbi Kristina. If you guys remember that Bobbi Kristina, she was the only child of Bobby and Whitney Houston, Bobby Brown and Whitney Houston. So she's probably seen a whole bunch of shit, okay? Y'all remember that TV show? Y'all remember that reality show with Bobby and Whitney? Y'all already know the past of Bobby and Whitney with their whole drug addiction and such. So Bobby Brown was actually explaining and saying that because of the fact that Bobbi Kristina saw all of that trauma and saw all of those issues, she actually did not want to be like them. She didn't want to be on the spotlight. She did not want to indulge in drugs. She did not want to be involved in anything of entertainment because of the fact that she did not want to be like her parents. So it wasn't until that Whitney introduced Bobbi Kristina to Nick Gordon, that was the time. Around that time, as they got older, that was the time that she started indulging in doing drugs and all of that because of the fact that she was within a relationship with Nick Gordon. If you guys don't know who Nick Gordon is Bobbi Kristina's ex-boyfriend who also actually passed away over an overdose of heroin. So basically, it is Bobby Brown is actually now alleging that Nick Gordon is actually the one that is responsible for killing Bobbi Kristina. Lord, child, let's get to this tea. So Nick Gordon, like I said, is Bobbi Kristina's ex-boyfriend. Well, boyfriend who died because they both died. Is that an ex-boyfriend now at this point? Because if y'all both are no longer alive, are y'all still together in heaven or are y'all broken up? because of the bullshit that he did in Earth. Anyway, so moving on. Nick Gordon actually was, he was Bobbi Kristina's boyfriend, and they were together for quite some time. Whitney Houston introduced Nick Gordon to their lives at a young age because that is one of Whitney Houston's friend's son. She took Nick Gordon in, and they were raising him for a long period of time. Bobby Brown was never a fan of Nick Gordon. Let's keep that in mind. He was never a fan of this man. He saw certain things that he did not appreciate. So as they got older, Nick Gordon and Bobbi Kristina grew a relationship, and they actually ended up living in a home with another couple in Atlanta. See, here's the thing real quick, y'all. I don't like talking about the dead, but you know there's a motherfucking problem. If you are living in Atlanta as a couple, okay, two people, you are a couple living in Atlanta, and you move into a house with another couple living in Atlanta. Atlanta is cheap houses. And you are Whitney Houston's daughter. And you are a couple living in Atlanta. And you are renting a home. That's a red flag right there. That's a red flag. You already doing some shit. You can't afford your own motherfucking house. You already doing some shit. That's a red flag right there. But anyway, we're going to keep on moving on because thank God she had a roommate, because if it wasn't for that roommate, Nick Gordon would have probably went to jail. Because what happened was Bobbi Kristina was found in her bathroom in her home, head first, unconscious. And her old roommate actually stated that a few hours previous to her being found unconscious in the bathroom, Nick Gordon and her were in a whole argument. He punched her in the stomach and everything. Physical abuse happened. So fast forward to a few years later, after Bobbi Kristina passed away, Nick Gordon passed away during, I believe he was either out of jail or he was in jail, but he passed away at the age of 30 from a heroin overdose. So honestly, this is really crazy to me because the way that Bobby Brown is explaining this whole thing, he's basically saying that Nick Gordon was this guy that used to get Bobbi Kristina and Whitney Houston party favors. He states that Whitney Houston and Bobbi Kristina and Nick Gordon were together on the night of her death, and he was partying with her. He was the one that provided the drugs for Whitney Houston, and a few hours later, again, we found another person in the bathtub, in the bathroom, unconscious, unfortunately. So with all of that being said, Bobby Brown has explained and said that he never, ever had the chance to even talk to Nick or confront Nick about the issues and everything that he has done because of the fact that he died. And he wishes that he could because he really does believe that he is the blame for this. Honestly, I kind of feel like that he may be. I can't put blame on somebody for someone's death or someone's decisions that they make. However, I will say that people that provide party favors, people that go to these places knowing that people have addiction, that shit's fucked up. You know that Whitney Houston is someone that had a huge addiction of drugs. And if for someone that has took you in, okay, Nick Gordon, Whitney Houston was someone that took you in from childhood, and you chose to destruct her life by giving her drugs. That's fucked up. And then you continue to do that with her daughter, and then you killed two innocent women, and you chose to take your own life. I feel like that's selfish. At this point, I feel like that, Nick Gordon deserves what he had got because of the fact that he is the reason that both of these women have passed away. After watching this whole Red Table Talk, I do believe as well that he is the reason that this legendary woman, Whitney Houston, has passed away. If it wasn't for him, I mean, I'm not going to say that if it wasn't for him, she wouldn't be on drugs. Because what Bobby Brown also revealed on the Red Table Talk is that he was not the one that introduced Whitney on drugs. It was actually technically her brother, which we did see as well years ago in an Oprah interview that Whitney Houston's older brother did admit that he was the one that introduced her to drugs. However, we always thought that it was Bobby because Bobby was always on cocaine and he was the one that was doing the drugs. But in reality, Whitney Houston was doing drugs way before that. He had stated that the first time that he saw Whitney do drugs was on the day of their wedding day. So I'm not going to say that Nick is responsible, or Nick is the main person that is responsible for Whitney Houston's drug addiction, but he certainly did help it. And he certainly did give her those drugs on the night before she passed away. So he tries to point out those emotions, and he tries to say that, you know, as he fast forwards to now, he continues to say that he's still kind of going through the trauma, going through the issues of grief, because he also had lost his parents as well months later after Bobbi and Kristina died. So it's really hard, and it's really, you know, it's really hard when you're dealing with so much trauma, when especially generational trauma of drug addiction and alcohol. And coming from Bobby Brown himself, who has also been an alcoholic for years, he just revealed that he is now a year sober from alcoholism and has been doing narcotics for the past 20 years and has been sober from narcotics for 19 years, but he was doing it previously for a long time. So when it comes to a whole bunch of generational trauma and generational curses like that, it's really hard for people to really break through with that. I do believe that, you know, as Bobby Brown that went on to throughout the interview, he said that something that really helped him was counseling. He states that some of the things that he has to learn to do is really push all of those thoughts behind and push them down. You know what I'm saying? He actually is trying to find ways to mend his healing. And I really, really love that, because he thinks that he feels that, you know, that doing things like that is going to help him and not bring back those old traumatic ways. I know for me, I feel like that drug addiction and alcohol addiction is very, very real. As you guys already know, I struggle myself with alcohol. You know, if you guys haven't watched my High Times with Cutie or Gossip with Cutie, I've always talked about my, I wouldn't call it an addiction, but I will call it a problem with me drinking. I will say that I don't know how to stop, and I don't have a limit sometimes. So there's times that that I will sometimes relapse, or I will sometimes go back to my old ways, and it's really, really hard. So I really commend Bobby Brown for taking what he does seriously and taking his addiction seriously and finding the help that he needs, because this shit is really real. Like, you know, the fact that he has lost so many people in his life, and he is still here today, standing, speaking his truth, telling his story. I commend you for that, King. And he now has a foundation with Bobbi, for Bobbi Kristina, called the Bobbi Kristina Foundation, which basically is which is a foundation for people that have lived in domestic violence relationships, have been in relationships that have abuse, drug abuse, alcohol abuse. He gives this foundation and gives counselors to help these people out and these women out so they can join. So I'm actually going to put this in the bio down below. So as the conversation went on, the talk of his addiction went on with alcoholism. And honestly, like I said before, I love the fact that how he's evolved. He's grown. He is now a great man, a great father. He's taking care of his 2 young kids. He's doing his thing, and he's teaching them the right ways of breaking that generational curse. You have to be the one in your family to really try to break that curse, y'all, because that shit is really real. If you feel like that you have if you feel like that you have a problem, or if you feel like that you have an issue, I am here to talk to. I'm not a therapist, but I'm here to talk to, and I can guide you to somebody that is a therapist. So I know for myself that this whole thing with me in my personal life with my alcohol problem, it's been going on to probably about 2 years with me. I stopped drinking for about a year. Then I started back again kind of last year, and I'm pretty much going to stop again because I realized that I am starting to abuse it again. So, you know, it's really the fact of the matter of you have to know you have to know your limit. You have to know what you can and cannot do. Not everybody is going to drink. Not everybody can, smoke weed. Not everybody can party like everybody can. You know what I'm saying? You have to know what you can and cannot do, and you have to know your limits, y'all. So I really want to know your comments below. Like I said before, this was an amazing episode of Red Table Talk. I would love for y'all to watch it and catch it and let me know y'all thoughts as well. So that's going to be it with Gossip with Cutie, y'all. My name is Gabe, a.k.a. Cutie. And make sure that you like, subscribe, comment, click that notification bell for more videos and more tea with me. All right, y'all, Cutie out.